Hey everyone, let's jump straight into today's story analysis. We're unpacking an absolute masterclass in viral storytelling. We're looking at a narrative framework that is literally designed to grab your attention, lock it in, and demand engagement from the very first second. It's the blueprint for a suspenseful, emotional thriller known as The Last Call or Akhri Call. And what we're going to do today is not just retell the story, but actually break down exactly why this specific structure is pure algorithmic gold. We're talking hooks, pacing, and those massive twists that make it an absolute must-watch. So grab your notebooks because this is going to be a thrilling ride through the mechanics of a perfect story. Picture this. It's just a normal, sunny afternoon. You're going about your day, everything's totally routine. And then, your phone rings. Have you ever thought about a phone call that would completely blow your mind? Like a call so absolutely terrifying, so unsettling, that it just shatters your reality in a split second? Well, the story we're analyzing today kicks off with exactly this premise. And guys, this is the ultimate 30-second hook. It's designed to literally stop you mid-scroll because it forces you to lean in and ask yourself, what on earth would I do? Section 1. The secret of the terrifying call. Okay. Let's dive into this setup, because every great thriller needs a really grounded, relatable foundation before it completely pulls the rug out from under you, right? So, meet our protagonist, Zeeshan. He's just an ordinary IT guy sitting at his desk. He lives with his sister, Sarah, who uses a wheelchair, and the story establishes right out of the gate that Zeeshan loves her deeply. This is our emotional anchor. Without this profound sibling bond, the suspense just wouldn't hit the same way. Anyway, Zeeshan's at work, and suddenly his phone rings. Unknown number. He picks it up, probably expecting a telemarketer or something, but instead, he hears someone crying on the other end. And the voice on the other end is in absolute panic. It screams, "Zeeshan, go home immediately. Sarah is in danger. Hurry, you only have 20 minutes." Just pause and think about the sheer shock of hearing that. Your sister is in imminent, life-threatening danger, and boom, a 20-minute ticking clock is explicitly laid out. But the terror doesn't stop with just the message itself. There's another layer to this warning that completely paralyzes Zeeshan in his tracks. Because here's the crucial detail. The voice on the phone wasn't a stranger's. It wasn't a neighbor. It wasn't the police. It was his own voice. Yeah, Zeeshan is listening to himself, crying and screaming in panic, warning him about the future. From a storytelling perspective, this is a massive game changer. It instantly flips a standard rescue mission into a mind-bending psychological thriller. By making the caller Zeeshan himself, this narrative pretty much guarantees viewer retention right from the jump. You literally can't look away without finding out how this is scientifically or supernaturally possible. Section 2, race against time. At first, naturally, Zeeshan tries to rationalize it. He thinks, okay, this has got to be a sick joke. He immediately calls the house, but the landline is giving a busy signal. He frantically dials Sarah's cell, but it's switched off. And you can feel that creeping dread setting in. Rational explanations are flying out the window and sheer panic takes over. He bolts from his office, jumps on his bike, and just starts desperately racing toward his house. And as he's flying down the road, his phone rings again. And this brilliantly illustrates how the pacing ramps up. Let's walk through the timeline. At 0 minutes, he gets that first impossible call. 10 minutes into his frantic ride, right as he's approaching a traffic light, his phone rings again. His voice, yells at him not to run the red light, warns him of a massive accident ahead, and tells him to take a shortcut. Zeeshan pauses, and right before his eyes, at the 15-minute mark, a massive truck accident happens exactly as the voice predicted. This is the absolute turning point. All doubt is gone. He now 100% believes he is getting instructions from his future self. By the 20-minute mark, fueled by pure adrenaline and terror, he finally pulls up to his house. Section 3, Fire and a New Rife. We're at the climax of the story. He arrives, and the front door is wide open. Thick, dark smoke is billowing out from inside, caused by a massive short circuit. Zeeshan doesn't even hesitate. Believing the timeline his future self warned him about, he charges straight into the suffocating smoke. He fights his way through the burning house, finds Sarah, and heroically carries her out to safety. They both emerge, hacking and coughing, but alive. He beat the clock. He saved his sister's life. The relief is astronomical. But as that adrenaline starts to fade, the actual logic of what just happened begins to gnaw at him. Section 4, the shocking final truth. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sudden shift in tone. We go from high-octane action straight into a profound mystery. Sarah is safely sitting in the ambulance, Zeeshan finally catches his breath, and this chilling thought hits him. Wait, If I called myself from the future, that means I survived. But how did I actually make the call? He pulls his phone out of his pocket, desperate for a clue, and checks his call logs. He scrolls through his recent history and nothing. There is absolutely no record of an incoming call. The call literally never happened. So what was it? Instead of an incoming call, his phone was just playing a pre-recorded audio file. Let's break down this absolute mega twist step by step. Step 1. A year ago, Zishan was messing around with some AI voice cloning software and jokingly recorded a fake panicked audio note of himself. Step 2. That very morning, his sister Sarah decided to be funny and set a prank timer on his phone to play that specific terrifying voice note. Step 3. The unbelievable coincidence. That timer happened to go off at the exact moment a real fire started in their home. And the kicker? The fire didn't start from a mysterious short circuit. It started because Zishan himself had carelessly left water boiling on the stove before he left for work, which caught some nearby clothes on fire. If he had arrived even a minute later, his own negligence would have caused a tragedy. He wasn't saved by time travel at all. He was saved by a miraculously timed prank. Now, there are actually two brilliant ways to conclude this narrative. First, we have the logical AI prank ending we just talked about. It's incredibly clever, relying entirely on human error, modern tech, and a wild coincidence. It leaves you totally stunned by the irony that his own mistake caused the fire, but his sister's prank saved them. Alternatively, we have the supernatural ending. In this version, the phone genuinely does connect to the future, and the second Sarah is safe, Zishan's phone mysteriously vanishes or completely crashes, leaving the whole paranormal mystery totally unsolved. Both endings are highly effective. It just depends on whether the creator wants to lean into a thriller vibe or full-on sci-fi horror. Section 5. The formula for going viral. Let's move to and see how this builds into an actual digital strategy. Because guys, this isn't just a fun story. It is explicitly engineered to conquer the algorithm. This specific combination of intense suspense, a deep emotional core with the siblings, and that mind-bending double twist, it's exactly what keeps viewers glued to their screens until the very last second. It perfectly hits that sweet spot of an 8 to 10 minute window, maximizing watch time and audience retention, which we all know are the holy grail metrics. And to guarantee that success, here is the specific execution plan. First up, the visual hook. You need a high-contrast thumbnail. Think a terrified face, a glowing phone, and a burning house in the background. The text needs to be punchy, like "Mujhe meri hi call aayi," which means "I got a call for myself." Next is the auditory experience. You can't just tell this story. You have to make the audience feel it. You use heavy suspense music, maybe throw in a heartbeat sound effect during that frantic bike ride. And finally, the comment strategy. You never just end the breakdown abruptly. You have to drive engagement by prompting the audience to join the conversation. Which brings us to the final brilliant tactic for the algorithm, the engagement hook. To boost those comments and push the analysis further, you look directly at your audience and ask them this. If you got a call from your future self, what would you ask? It's a fantastic thought experiment, right? Would you ask for lottery numbers, career advice, or maybe a warning about a huge mistake you're about to make? Think about it. The mechanics of this story show us just how powerfully a well-crafted narrative can capture our imagination. So I'll leave you with that question to ponder today. What would you ask?